Hello everybody, it's Current Cartoon TV coming with another review of Steven Universe. This one is episode number 6, Gemcation. Hey, and we have a special guest tonight, Red.
Hello again.
And we also have Gundam.
Hey guys.
So, Red, you want to give me that synopsis for that episode?
Sure thing. So, as Steven is still depressed over Connie's silence, Greg and the Gems misinterpret his sadness and take him to a ranch house for a vacation to cheer him up. The vacation just puts Steven more on edge until he eventually tells Greg what it is he's upset about.
Ah, yes. So, Red, what did you like about this episode?
I kind of like Garnet's awkward, kind of clunky humor. It's kind of reminds me of like dad puns. Like they're so bad, but it's funny. It's kind of cute. And I like how they portray that Steven's waiting for that special text, because we can all relate to that. Like we each are waiting for that one person just to text back, just to say one word, and you'll just be satisfied with that. And I do like how they try and cheer him up, but they just don't know. But, you know, I liked overall how they all came together as kind of like one big family. So that's what I liked.
And how about you, Gundam? What did you like about this episode?
I liked the backgrounds, and I liked the colors. That is all.
What? Really? That's it?
That is all.
Wow.
What a surprise.
You didn't say anything about the song, or the audio in there.
What audio?
So, anyways, what I liked about the episode is that Greg was able to help Steven where the Gems could not. And I was kind of also like the little pun for the Airbnb where Greg's like, we could just go to these houses and we could just rent them out and all that. But that's pretty much all I like about this episode myself. And, Red, what did you not like about this episode?
Their body proportions were not accurate whatsoever. Like, Steven's smaller and wider than usual, and like Pearl and Garnet are kind of at the same height. It's very clunky. I don't like it. And again, they're just going off to ignore the problem that's at hand. They're just not talking about it. And that's what's just so frustrating about this. It's such a big problem, but they're just completely ignoring it.
For those people that don't know what that problem is, what is that problem?
Oh, that Steven just came back from Homeworld after escaping from Homeworld, from the diamonds, and no one's making a big deal out of it, and it's just mind-blowing.
And Lars is missing still.
Yeah.
Where's Lars?
Where's Lars?
Oh, I'm going to probably regret this one later, but Gundam, what did you not like about this episode?
Oh boy. I did not like the pacing of this episode. I didn't like the story of this episode. I didn't like that Steven was on his phone the entire time. I didn't like the way the Gems acted around Steven. It just seemed off to me. Like a lot of the mannerisms and everything didn't hit well with me. And like Red said, the proportions, just all the art seemed off. Like I know that they do different storyboard artists and different artists all the time, but it seemed like they couldn't even keep the character models on model for this particular episode in general. And overall, it was just a boring episode.
I'm going to actually agree with you on the fact that Steven was on the phone all the time. And I've been there before where I just wanted to have that phone right next to me just for that one special text. But this was a little much. Like actually putting it into a Ziploc bag and take it into a spa with your clothes on. He didn't even change into his swimsuit and all that.
Yeah. And it kind of reflects how kids, these younger generations, no offense to anyone who's a younger generation, but that's kind of how you guys were raised on technology.
Yeah.
So you guys have to take it everywhere, and you can't take your eyes off of it. So
yeah. And I didn't like the fact that we were actually hinted with a little backstory about Pink Diamond and all that. Just to have Steven like, I don't care. This is not the problem. It's like, come on. We want some freaking lore to this story here. We want to know why Pink Diamond was shattered. And I didn't like the fact what was going on with Pearl's hand. It was like every time she was about ready to say something, it would cover her mouth. That could be a part of a theory down the road, but what was going on with that? So, let's go into the ratings here. Red, what did you give this?
sadly, I'm gonna give this one a 1 out of 5. The colors were distracting. The plot was distracting. It was kind of boring. I didn't really have a good time watching it. So 1 out of 5.
I probably already know what Gundam's rating is going to be on this one, but I'm going to go ahead and ask him. Gundam, what is your rating?
This was one of the worst episodes I've seen in quite some time. It gets a 1 out of 5 for me. As Red said, just everything just seems so off about this episode, and it did absolutely nothing for me. This episode could not have been in the season, and it would have done exactly as enough emphasis on the plot as any other episode. So no, I didn't like this episode at all. 1 out of 5.
I'm not gonna say it's the worst episode of Steven Universe, because that goes to Rocknado, which was horrible. Anyways, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. It wasn't the best. Well, it was nowhere near the best, but it wasn't the worst either. So I have seen other episodes that would plummet more, but I'll give it a 2 out of 5. So, thank you guys for listening in to us, and thank you, Red, for coming on with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. We really love to hear what you think of the show, and see if you guys have any tips or tricks or anything like that. And then we'll have some links down in the description as well for all of our Patreon, Facebook, all that good stuff. And Red has some links there too as well.
Yeah, I do cosplay, so I have a Facebook page called Perfectly Red Cosplay, and I'm also on Instagram at Perfectly Red.
And once again, thank you guys all, and have a good night.
See you.